What's up, guys, and welcome back to the GameShow Global Esports Cup. It's going to be Game 2 between Stark and Alternate, although I'm not really sure what happened to Alternate's flag, team tag, whatever you want to call it. It's gone now. At least their names are back. Reborn's really acting up here, so I'm not sure what's happening, but either way, I'm Mikelorus, going to be your only caster for this game. And Alternate, well, they just got done absolutely raffle stomping Stark. Now, I'm not really sure how much of it comes down to them outplaying Stark, like just, having better lanes, managing their lanes better, more pulls, or more effective ganks or whatever. It feels like no matter what Stark were to do in that game, they would not have been able to kill off that Huskar. I guess in theory they could have applied a little bit more pressure to Huskar, like try to offensive tri-lane him or something like that. But I don't really think that they had the draft for that. So yeah, it's a very interesting, I guess, distinction between whether or not they won because they outplayed them or just because they got the Huskar. I'm not really sure. I'm sure you guys may have an opinion, but I'm not going to tell you the truth because I don't know the truth. But either way, you could bet Stark are going to be grabbing at least some physical damage in this game. Grabbing a Bane super early. You can't grab IO Tiny since that's not available. But that's fine. They will, try to angle for not Shadow Fiend, Wind Ranger or something like that. Spirit Breaker, that's an answer. You at least have some stuns to go through that Huskar, but you need some damage output afterwards. For the alternate side, however, it's going to be a first pick Night Stalker. Not exactly the screen special. He's going to decide that Night Stalker a little bit better than the Tusk in this case. And you know what? I think I'm fairly impressed with the Night Stalker, but I don't know if he's necessarily better than the Tusk. They're just going to go ahead and grab the Night Stalker instead. Screen, again, always plays those melee supports, and this is one of his best. Stark going to grab a Darkseer to go with that Spirit Breaker. Not exactly the physical heavy lineup from Stark just yet. Can always happen a little bit later. What they do have right now is the ability to charge in with Ion Shells. If you're going in towards someone like a Night Stalker, you may not get those kills, but you could bet that you're going to at least pressure the alternate side quite a bit, just forcing them to make rotations they may not always want to be making, maybe getting a couple kills now and then depending on what the supports are looking like here from the alternate side. And we'll see what those supports actually want to be. I'm assuming here for at least for alternate, they're going to want again to be on the aggressive side, as they typically want to be. Really, any team with screen wants to be aggressively slanted. And we have a Bane pick from screen. Well, they're going to be prepared should a Huskar come up on Stark's side. They have Bane for the Brain Sap Grip, the Crippling Fear from the Night Stalker, also real legit at killing off Huskars, or at least dealing with them. You can kind of ignore them for a little while longer. Take a couple of shots maybe, but 50% miss chance is no joke. Bane Night Stalker don't really work fantastically with one another, so expect to see someone to really capitalize off of these two heroes. Liking someone like an Ember Spirit perhaps for the alternate side. Get the Nightmare set up, you just walk right in, land Searing Chains, Night Stalker then voids and beats down. And again, Darkseer, Spirit Breaker, very tanky, and they will look to contest that as best they can. Bane has to be careful for sure. If he's going to get charged by an Ion Shell Spirit Breaker, he may just die very, very quickly. Nightmare is possible to land a Nightmare on a charging Spirit Breaker. You have to see him coming, you have to have full vision. It's possible, but unlikely. And sometimes we'll save the Bane, but Huskar's actually going to be banned out. Alright, I would expect maybe a Broodmother ban out as well from the alternate side. Don't really have good heroes dealing with that Brood. At least not yet. Although I'm not really sure the chances to start going for that. It's one of those heroes that you would rather not take chances with. But as these bans progress, we'll see how aggressive the alternate side actually want to end up. And we'll see if Stark can actually get a couple more solid lanes. This is a pretty solid start. This is a very hard to dislodge dual lane Darkseer Spirit Breaker. There'll be situations where this lane isn't going to be getting kills and they're not going to be absolutely crushing it. But at the same time, they're not going to be losing the lane either. Or at least you wouldn't expect them to unless they just get way too deep in and they end up suiciding. Who knows? Van's taking quite a lot of time right now. Huskar out, Wind Ranger out, and Invoker. Seems like there's a lot of mid lane hate right now. Queen of Pain still in. Templar Assassin. Again, Ember Spirit still possible. And it really just does depend on how aggressive these teams want to be. Wouldn't mind seeing a Templar Assassin here for alternate. Templar Assassin super early up against Darkseer though. It seems kind of mediocre actually. Ember Spirit definitely seems a lot better for the alternate side than TA. But I do like the Invoker ban. We saw the slight setup from the last game from Nemphy's Invoker of just being able to land some Sun Strikes across the map. Provides some value. Not a ton, definitely gets a lot better with the Bane. Undying is going to be taken out. Stark's still scared about getting run over very early. I guess that is a possibility, but not really sure if Screen are going to go for that again. Because you would assume the Night Stalker is going to be played by Screen at this point. It's not too late for them to give it to someone a little bit different, but maybe give it to Nisha, Night Stalker. What's it going to be for Stark? Mid lane selection. Now, you don't really want to play Queen of Pain versus a Night Stalker if you can help it. It's not the worst in the world, it's just not super fun either. But Stark, if they're going to be diving and getting kills, maybe want some sustain. Dazzle is still in the pool. And is a pretty good hero to have if you're going to be Dove. I mean, he doesn't really do that great if he's the one being Dove, but if any of his allies are, you could bail them out pretty hard. Ember Spirit for Stark. Again, this does pose the problem of being an Ember Spirit versus a Bane and a Night Stalker. Two heroes that can very easily catch you out of position, crippling fear you, nightmare you, grip you, and then as Ember Spirit, you're just going to get burst down. And oh man, alternate are going to put up the pressure real hard. Luna, one of the most aggressive heroes, carry heroes that you can pick up. Get the extra damage. You do have a little bit of darkness during that eclipse, which may or may not be relevant, which is pretty sweet. But as far as a hero that it can capitalize off of Nightmare, Luna's not the best. I would say Ember Spirit, Slark, perhaps a little bit better. But just being able to beam them up to wake them up from the Nightmare, beat them down with so much additional base damage from the Bane, who also already has a lot of damage. Then Luna, of course, has a lot as well. They will be able to, in theory, handle the Darkseer offlane. However, still Luna is a very fragile hero. If you charge her with Ion Shells up, you may be able to kill her off before she can get any damage into your tanky heroes of the Spiritbreaker Darkseer. Stark have got to make sure that they're ready for this aggression. Like, if you don't pick up a Luna and then decide to go late game, I mean, she doesn't do terribly in the late game, but if you can avoid it, you want to avoid it. So Stark, how are they going to manage this? It's a Jakiro pick from them. That's an interesting one. Minus attack speed, not the best here. Luna does quite a lot of mixed damage with the Eclipse and a Beam, of course, being magical, physical right clicks. Liquid Fire is nice. It doesn't seem like Stark are really in a position to go equally aggressive as alternate right now. I mean, you can always take down towers with Liquid Fire. That's pretty much always going to be happening. But that being said, are they really in a position to capitalize off of this Jakiro? Because Darkseer, Spiritbreaker, Ember Spirit, they are not heroes that push down towers. These are heroes that, well, at least early on, want to get pickoffs and just get kills and get farm. And then mid-game, yeah, they're going to be ready to team fight. But getting towers, that's not what they do. So they really do need someone to kind of capitalize on the Jakiro's tower pushing ability and try to put a little bit more hurt towards those structures. I'm assuming Jakiro is going to be played as support right now. It's possible to run a Jakiro mid. Then they need another support that's going to be able to provide pressure. As far as pushing supports are concerned, there aren't really that many. I guess Venomancer would be okay here for Stark. Considering the fragility of alternate, that actually won't be the worst pick in the world. They are going to grab a Queen of Pain after all said and done. A pretty safe one to make for alternate. For Stark's side, there aren't really many great ways to catch off a Queen of Pain. Yes, Sleight of Fist, Searing Chains, Charge, Vacuum, Ice Path. They have enough CC, Stark, so they won't get completely screwed over by the Blinking Quap. But Quap, just another hero that can get online super early, makes pretty good usage of the Luna's extra damage given by that Lunar Blessing. And can be sniping kills left, right, and center. Queen of Pain versus Ember Spirit matchup, you know, pretty good for the Queen of Pain. I'd say 60-40 probably for Quap. But now we have the Lich being banned out, actually. Yeah, Stark need to get their lanes going. If alternate even just like get a couple sacrifices in those lanes, that would have been really bad for Stark. They're going to be starving for gold, starving for levels. And on the defensive, that's not really where you want to be. Juggernaut's going to be banned out. It is a hero that Stark do play quite a bit, that Jug. Whether or not he would actually fit in here, I'm not really sure. I guess they could just put Darkseer in the offlane, support Jakiro, support Spiritbreaker, Ember Spirit mid or something like that. Ember Spirit safe lane, and then just have any other hero going up against Quap mid. The possibilities are there for Stark. It's not going to be that Juggernaut. A pushing hero, though, right? Isn't that what they want? I wouldn't mind a Beastmaster here for Stark. It wouldn't be terrible. The additional attack speed is actually pretty legit with these heroes. What else? They kind of do need a more tanky-oriented hero. But what tanky heroes are left that can actually do stuff in this game? And Alchemist has not been banned out, and that has actually not a terrible pickup for the alternate side if they want to slow this game down a little bit. Would mean an offlane Queen of Pain. It's not that a big deal. Again, there's not that much catch here from Stark. It's also kind of weird to not see the Tusk being picked or banned. I'm not really sure if Stark want to go for a Tusk. Seems like it's a little bit not enough scaling there in that hero. Stark, what is it going to be though? 30 seconds left. Do they even know what they want? I'm just trying to think of like the perfect hero right now for the Stark side. Magnus perhaps won't be terrible. Yeah, just being able to give the cleave early on to the Ember Spirit, having that set up AoE with the follow-up from the Ember Spirit and Darkseer. I actually do like the mag quite a bit here.
10 seconds remaining.
But, I mean, it may or may not be that. It's just going to be a Razor for them. Boring. Is a very resistant hero to the Bane Night Stalker with that unstable current. Very nice there. It has a pretty even matchup versus the Queen of Pain should those two heroes run into each other. And Stark, this is going to be another hero that can fight super early on. Really does love to fight early on. Whether or not he'll be enough for them, of course, that remains to be seen.
Enchantress.
And then Enchantress is the pick here for alternate. This is very interesting. It's going to be played by Nisha. Okay, so Enchantress, sometimes you see her going towards the jungle, and that is going to be pretty consistent there. You jungle up, you occasionally get those ganks off, even whether or not they fail, you should be able to get some levels on farm. Alternatively, offlane Enchantress is a hero. It is definitely a thing. And how do you deal with Enchantress? How do you deal with her ever? You get lots of burst damage. Whether it's physical or magical, it honestly doesn't matter. Obviously, you don't really want to be relying on right clicks, so like, even though Templar Assassin has a lot of physical burst, it's a little bit it's kind of slow because you have to deal with Untouchable. The burst from Stark is very low. Like, Nymphy does an okay amount as the Ember Spirit. Jakiro has damage over time, but that's exactly what Enchantress wants because she has heal over time. So all the damage you do is, for the most part, going to be negated by this Enchantress. I think this might just be another, niche pick that alternate pull out of the bag and say, okay, this one is something that Stark are not prepared for. They don't have enough burst damage to kill off this Enchantress. Even if she does get charged by the Spirit Breaker, he may land the charge, yes, because Enchantress doesn't have anything to actually stop that. But he can't actually hit her afterwards as long as she gets untouchable. And the Ion Shells will try to race with the Nature's Intendants, well, it should be about breaking even for Nisha. So this is going to be a very hard hero to dislodge from Stark. They need to actually get the perfect lane versus her. Like, Razor is not good versus the Enchantress at all. You can steal her damage, yeah, but actually killing her off with that damage, you can't even hit her. So this is very similar to the Huskar pick of last game, where alternate grabbed it, and Stark were vastly unprepared for it. And again, they have a hero that they're just vastly unprepared for. They're going to start off with a damage drain onto screen. 2-3 whiplashes, going to kind of do some damage, not much. But let's see who's going to be playing what before we get any further into this game. Top lane is going to be Trixie, properly tagged up this time as the Darkseer. Valix is on the Spirit Breaker. We got Nymphy handling the Ember Spirit. Looks like he's going to go mid. Boogie is going to safe lane the Razor. And OKCia now on the Jakiro. On the alternate side, Screen is going to be handling the Night Stalker. Got Elisash on the Bane. Exotic Deer is going to be handling the Luna. Supreme on the Queen of Pain. Nisha is going to be on the Enchantress solo safe lane. Looking to go up against Darkseer. That's actually a pretty good lane still for Darkseer, because he's purely into the Ion Shell lane control. And Enchantress, though may or may not be trading hits with Trixie, Untouchable isn't really going to be getting her a lot of value. Bounty Rune taken by the Darkseer, taken by the Queen of Pain. And Nisha's going to take a hell of a lot of damage here. Grabbed Untouchable level 1. Untouchable versus Darkseer really isn't a useful skill at all. Like, yeah, attack slow. When was the last time Darkseer actually killed someone off by punching them and not by using Ion Shell? It doesn't happen all that frequently. So this is going to be probably the ideal scenario here for the off lane of Stark. Darkseer, no other help. Screen, take some tower shots. Careful, dude. Valix coming in now. Screen just going to give Supreme a little bit of momentum in this lane. Already has a pretty good matchup, as I said before, up against Nymphy, who already is going to go for Side of Fist, so you can do stuff like that. Very easy to see the Shadow Strike coming, therefore very easy to dodge it. Elisash can start trading hits with Boogie. Exotic Deer is here, though he did lose a lot of damage, even with that aura, only hitting for 20. But it looks like it's going to be an offensive tri-lane after all said and done, coming out from the alternate side. And it's going to be a tri-lane that's going to be very difficult to kill off the Razor with. OKC also rather tanky as the Jakiro. But with the damage that they have from this Luna, it's definitely very possible still. They're going to void up Boogie. Brain Sap is there, plus a beam. No, it's not actually there yet. And with the Liquid Fire landing, they just can't quite attack him fast enough. Also, the slow from the dual breath, or the slow from the dual breath, rather. They can't attack fast enough. They can't get close enough. So it's a 3v3 lane down towards bottom. Stark going to be on the defensive right now. Alternates always going aggro. Always go aggro. There's harassing with Brain Sap. It is pretty expensive. You get 4 of them out. Not bad, but yeah, they really do want this Luna just to sit back and get some levels first. Ring of Basilius, Ring of Aquila will be a huge pickup here for the alternate side. The faster they get it, the better. But if any action happens across the map, it's most likely going to be on this top lane. Nisha may or may not be dove, but as long as he has Nature's Hendance, which he doesn't have right now, he should be fine. Like, these creeps aren't actually doing anything to the Enchantress. Oh, Static Link onto Elisash right now. They get a lucky bash. Lots of damage being traded. And they do get the Ice Path onto this Bane as well. He has a Brain Sap, but the Plasma Field will kill him off. First blood drawn by Boogie. A little bit too much overconfidence here from the Stark side. Screen also not in the area immediately. Can be able to reinforce, even though I'm not sure the Darkseer could have done anything to help out there. They get another bash from Valix. Exotic Deer's got to be real careful. Spirit Breaker doesn't even have a charge yet, but still, you land some random bashes, you can get some random kills. That's just how it works. Now, the success of Stark's safe lane is a nice start, but it's definitely not what you could call a guaranteed success for right now, because nighttime is fast approaching, and Screen's already level 2. And Exotic Deer can go fully aggressive once the nighttime phase hits. Again, they're not going to have the most levels, but they're keeping on par with the enemies right now. And Supreme is having a pretty decent time versus Ember Spirit, leading in CS and Emphy. You expect him to fall behind slowly but surely up against this Queen of Pain. Yeah, you can Shadow Strike, you can dodge Shadow Strike occasionally, but you can't dodge it all the time. Eventually it's going to land, and it does hurt quite a bit, even through that Flame Guard. Like, look at the damage that Supreme's putting onto this Ember Spirit. It's so much. Easy harassment for the Queen of Pain. It's going to force Ember Spirit back. He does have his bottle working back and forth now down towards bottom lane. The damage drain onto Elisash. Felix going to charge right as well. Brain Sap, however, onto Boogie. They're going to try to go for the Razor. He's fairly tanky and doing so much damage. Scream with another Void, not quite going to do it. Will fall. Beam also not going to do it. Exotic Deer now got to back off. Felix doesn't have another charge yet. He does have one now, but it's not going to be used. There's a really bold move there from Team Alton to try to trade kills with the Razor instead of just trying to back off. Because probably could have left, honestly. Like, they should have been fine to just walk out. But Razor at this point, 2-point Static Link, can steal a lot of damage very quickly. And yeah, he didn't steal it on the best target. Bane's right clicks are annoying, but not exactly Luna's right clicks, right? Actually, I guess Bane technically attacks for more damage, but yeah, doesn't really want to be casting spells all the time. Or right clicking all the time, rather. Boogie will continue onwards in this lane, not getting a ton of farm, but a couple kills will be just as good, if not better. Valix, he's taking a snooze right now. Here comes Scream with the Void. Valix does not have a charge out of here. Elisash can get in the way for body block. Exotic Deer now close enough for a beam. Also offering that aura. Beam will cancel the charge, and Valix will fall to the right clicks. I'm pretty sure that wasn't really timed by alternate. It just kind of happened that he charged, and then he was like already mid-Lucent Beam cast. But hey, doesn't matter how it actually went down. Doesn't matter what the intention was. What matters is that they get the kill on the Spirit Breaker, and they need to get some experience now back into their heroes. If they're going to apply pressure during this nighttime phase, they have to have the nukes up. They have to have their mana pools full if they're going to go with someone as tanky as Boogie at this point, with quite a bit of HP, quite a bit of armor. 5 armor is no joke, and Static Link, of course. Taking a quick look at the other lanes, it looks like the Dire side are having a nice edge on both of them. Nisha's actually getting more last hits than Trixie, which is really weird. Like, you would expect at least the Darkseer to get all of them, and the Enchantress to miss a couple under her tower, but she's actually just 9 Trixie. Feels bad, man. Yeah, this Enchantress isn't dominating this lane, but soon once she gets level 6, she's going to have a lot more pressure towards the Darkseer. Impetuses hurt so much, and Surge at that point becomes not a super useful tool. Okay, Sia is going to catch a nice path onto Exotic Deer. Charge is going to come in as well. They do Nightmare, then Razor. Doesn't steal any damage right now. They're going to try to go for the Jakiro, but he's just so tanky right now. The Nightmare gets pulled off by Valix. He's going to bash on the screen. He's going to take quite a bit of damage here. Exotic Deer also super weak. It looks like everyone should be backing off just fine, but oh, it's the Enchantress to get this kill on the Darkseer. Snipes him off after getting level 6. No joke, guys. These Impetuses hurt like hell. It just seems like Trixie isn't really quite used to going 1v1 versus the Enchantress right now. Shouldn't be behind in CS and shouldn't be dying for sure. But you gotta respect those Impetuses. Pure damage, a hell of a lot of it as well. And your method of escape, Surge, run away, is not that useful when there's a spear in the air. It is gonna hit, and it's gonna hit hard. The lack of success in the bottom lane for the alternate side may be concerning to them. Exotic Deer not exactly super healthy right now. And Screen's darkness, or nighttime, is about halfway done. He's gotten 1 assist so far, which isn't terrible. You would ideally like a little bit more if you can, if at all possible. But just having mid lane and top lane go so well for alternate is going to put Stark a little bit behind. And they are the type of draft that's going to go for these mid-game team fight engagements, so getting behind in these lanes, really going to be struggling. And Boogie might be dove right now. There's a Nightmare, there's a level 2 Brain Sap, does quite a bit of damage, but Razor has stick charges. And again, he's pretty bulky. Boogie, though, walking a little bit too far out, perhaps. Void, not going to be used just yet. Screen now spotted. Over towards mid lane, however. Nemphy's taking a hell of a lot of damage from Supreme. Already dropped the Sonic Wave. Looks like with the presence of Valix, they're going to charge back into the Queen of Pain. She doesn't have a blink just yet. Chain's going to land on her a little bit more, but it's only level 1 Chains. Yeah, that was it. Now Supreme's going to get bumped up to the high ground. Easy escape from Supreme. All planned, we'll say. All planned. He's going to blink away and actually look to cut off Trixie. Screen's already there. Trixie has an Ion Shell on him. Has another Surge in just 1 second. Screen can do a little bit of harassment damage, but with the Enchantress coming around to the side, Trixie is going to lead them on a wild goose chase. He does have a lot of surges in his pockets, so he will be able to get a lot of distance away from the enemies of alternate. It's going to actually turn Manfight against Scream, but now the spears are going to start to fly from Nisha. Scream of Pain going to hit, and Darkseer going to fall. Wild Goose Chase wasn't as much of a chase as I really expected. That is going to be alternate grabbing another kill on the Darkseer. Charge, however, is going towards the bottom lane now. They see this Bane. They know exactly where he is. Gotta play it cool, man. Gotta play it cool. They see him complete with the Observer Ward as well. Elisash sticking around, thinks he's pretty safe, but I'm pretty sure he's gonna die here if this charge actually connects. He needs to get the perfect Nightmare off. Here comes the cow. Elisash is going to not lose any damage. That was a super long link from Boogie. Nightmare into the Razor. Elisash is still gonna run into the Ice Pass, still taking a lot of damage from Valix, and OKC gets bashed as well. Get ready to use the Brain Sap. Spear is gonna come in. Elisash not gonna hit with the Plasma Field. They fall short in their range. Now Nisha can turn around, try to go for Valix. Charge through. Nisha has one more chance to get one more spear off. Well, it's the Void that actually gets the kill. Nisha's doing some serious work. I can't believe the Bane actually lived there. Nightmare Brain Sap, pretty OP. But the Bane should have gotten clipped at least by that Plasma Field at the end. Not going to be happening. 4-2, now in favor of alternate. And Stark really falling behind. Uncharacteristically poor performances from the Stark side. Like, up towards top lane, they're going to go for Exotic Deer. No Eclipse yet on this Luna. Just sitting right in the middle of Ion Shells and the guard. She's eventually going to burn. Sleight of Fist will get the kill there. Teleportation coming in. It's going to be the Bane. I don't know why you're coming in, Bane. Bad idea. Immediately dropped. What the hell was that, Bane? Please. Yeah, I don't really know what that was, but it wasn't a good move.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Stark gets some much needed blood up on the top lane. Slowing down the Luna. Killing off the Bane, who, I mean, isn't working with a lot of net worth. In fact, where did all his gold go? Bane, he really can't afford to waste TPs like that when you're not getting any gold at all. But hey, yeah, Stark at least gets something. They haven't yet dealt with Nisha, however. They haven't yet dealt with Supreme. Two heroes who are having an absolute field day. And now Supreme, is he thinking about going for Valix right now? It's only level 4 Spirit Breaker versus level 8 Queen of Pain. Blink Scream in and of itself does a hell of a lot of damage. Alternatively, going for bottom lane also seems like a pretty good way to go. Well, she's looking on the bottom lane right now. They don't see anyone here. No observer, you know, in the typical behind the tower position. And well, the creeps are there, so no surprises either.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
But Nemphy, oh, he's in the mid lane. No grip here is actually up on the Bane. Super underfarmed this hero. 360 net worth. Man, you start with more gold than that. Come on, Bane. Get some CS going. Charge over towards Screen. Jakiro is here, not with a ton of damage. They need a couple bashes if they're going to get this kill. Ice Path going to connect. Dual Breath as well. Screen's going to get bashed out of his TP. Plasma Field from around the corner. Screen may fall to this one. Couple more right clicks, and yeah, they will kill off the Night Stalker. Nisha going to arrive. Will lose all his damage as it does try to retreat, but no follow-up here. Nisha not hitting for anything anymore, but still is going to be able to walk away. Man, this Valix Spirit Breaker has been pretty lucky. He's been getting some pretty good bashes. 17%, as they say. For anyone who's curious, this is game 2, as alternate do have a 1-game lead. Nisha is gonna try to go for OKC, who walk right over a sentry right now. Brain Sap, not quite enough to kill him off. Nisha needs another spear throw. It will not be in range. Oh, he's gonna charge forward looking for it. I don't think they can find the angle there. In the meantime, they lose the Queen of Pain. Well, she really dropped solo to Nemphy. Seems like she was. My bad for missing that one, guys. Nemphy finding a triple jump in, has no more remnants available, and just bursted her down. Now that the Searing Chains are actually a higher level, they last a little bit longer for a disable duration. you can actually get those kills, and that's a big kill for Nemphy to get. Again, Ember Spirit is a lot of the scaling damage for Stark, and he needs to be doing well if he's going to be getting those kills later on. And the items. Teleportation coming in. Supreme wants his revenge. Nemphy has his backup here from the Darkseer. Huge Surge on his ally. He's going to get voided out of his TP. Trixie's going to fall. No mana for a mech. It's unfortunate for the Darkseer. At least he guarantees Ember Spirit's escape, but I'm pretty sure Ember Spirit would have been fine regardless.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Either way, a couple kills going the way of either side. Supreme now is going to smoke up along with Screen. Look to go towards the bottom lane. Boy, the tower is slowly being pushed by Nisha, not super quickly, and the charge is coming in, but killing off this Enchantress with level 3 untouchable, damn near impossible. She's just going to go ahead and dive for the tower with the catapult will grab it. Charge coming way too slow. In the meantime, they're going to set up for mid lane. Screen, does he have Crippling Fear? He does, and, well, not in time. Nemphy's going to jump down to the low ground. Well, they get the tower deny and tower destruction, so though they don't get the kills, it's still pretty darn good for alternate. 6-5 now, fairly even kill score game, but we might have a couple more. Screen can run into Valix, who immediately charges up towards the mid lane. They're going to catch OKC, and a pincer killed the Jakiro off instead. As Nisha, again, doing most of the damage there. Still a razor-thin game. If the denominations and the graphs are not at 1,000, we have a close game. The rule of thumb. 6-6, and, well, they have a mech on both sides now. However, Darkseer definitely not having nearly as great a time as this Enchantress. So on top of the net worth chart, Nisha's going to be really hard to deal with. Should be going for an Aghanims next. Screen going to turn around and fight Valix. Silenced up, taking a lot of right clicks, and try to walk through Screen. It's not going to happen. Now here comes the beam. A couple more right clicks, all they need. He needs to charge out now, but it's too late. What was that? He just like wanted to walk up the hill, then he was like, oh, I'm just going to walk this way, then walk this way again. Night Stalker beating down the entire time. Doesn't have phase boots or anything like that, so he's not doing a ton of damage, but still, you sit there, take that many shots from a hero for free, you're going to die. Spirit Breaker going to give up his life again. I guess the bright side is for Stark is that this Bane still doesn't have his grip. Still, Ember Spirit has yet to die. He should have another item flying out to him. It's Travels. Okay, I mean, like, this is not enough for mid lane Ember Spirit at this stage in the game, even after a bad matchup. Needs something, but Travels is quite the item. We'll have that being able to split farm a little bit more effectively. But up towards top lane, the push is going to commence. Exotic Deer, 2 points. Aura, 1 point in the glaives. Coming off the creep wave just a little bit faster. It's not really going to be the fastest push in the world, but they are in position to fight. If Stark walk in here, they see Trixie. They don't see Nemphy. Elisash is going to get the Nightmare onto the Darkseer. Gets chained out immediately, taking so much damage over time. Will fall immediately. Now charging the screen. He's going to lose all his damage. Nisha does pop the mechanism off, but the wall right in the middle of everything. Sonic Wave is going to be played. Plus the Eclipse, which is not doing enough towards the Stark side. Trixie is still dropping very low. Is going to surge himself up to the north and will survive. Exotic Deer will be chopped down. And now they're onto Supreme, and they're onto Nisha. Supreme has a blink out. He'll get right over the cliff side, and we'll be fine. At 3-0, though, for Stark. As they open up that fight, killing off the Bane immediately. It's only level 1 Eclipse at this stage. And the Darkseer tanked up most of it. And that's the ideal situation for Stark. Even if they lose the Darkseer, it's not the end of the world. He's an expendable hero, even though he is, not supposed to be expendable. He is just at that state of the game. Now they're looking at Supreme. Charge in. Chains up. Supreme roasting in the damage over time and will fall again. Oh man, Stark suddenly getting so much advantage. We see the Enchantress doing some serious damage in these fights. Sonic Wave, Eclipse, that's all nice, but it's just not enough to kill off these heroes. Stark, again, are rather bulky. Oh no, guys, I ran out of water. I didn't refill it to the top. Disaster. So if the game starts to plummet, or if the cast starts to plummet in quality, you know why. Because I don't have any more water left. Please. Please start leaking ceiling and give me some water. No, if the ceiling starts leaking, guys, I'm going to have to call the cast. It wouldn't be the first time, unfortunately. By the way, yeah, Stark getting a pretty nice fight under their belts. You can see the effect of the net worth just skyrocketing above the enemies now, and you can see this, well, this is not a good stock market. I wouldn't want to invest in this one, but yeah, just skyrocketing in favor of Stark's team. Really, they're going to excel alternate, killing off heroes on a single target by single target basis. Even though they do have some pretty good team fights, Stark with landing a perfect wall in the middle of everything, having the Flame Guard up, absorbing some Eclipse beams. 10-7. Stark, they're looking for a point here, as they did lose game 1 versus alternate. Well, they have the Jakiro. They're not really going for a ton of pushing right now. They're really gonna try to look for Nisha. Doesn't have a kill streak or anything like that. Killing off this Enchantress is very difficult, near impossible for Alex. Even though he does have his level 6 Nether Strike, it's pretty good. Not quite enough. They'll just clean up the rest of the creeps here and be on their way. Seems like we're for a little bit of a passive stage. Both sides happy to just farm it up. This is really going to be great for Nemphy. This is where Boots travels. The weakness, of course, is once you grab the travels, you're not really super powerful, because you don't have any additional to your fights, but he's going to jump in towards Supreme, chains to land. He has the Ion Shell himself. In fact, 2 Ion Shells were there. Queen of Pain did have a blink, but you can't blink out of the chains. And Nemphy's going to grab a kill. And as I was saying, like, the advantage of having the slow period. Oh no, Spears on Shakira will get the kill there. Nisha now gonna show off his tankiness right now. Doesn't quite gonna get his spirits out, but he's just gonna back up and run away. However, here comes the chains. Ember Spirit doesn't have mana. Never mind, Nemphy just falling short. If he had the chains there, probably could have had the kill. Again, Razor doesn't really have that much attack speed versus the Enchantress. No one does. But yeah, just landing a hit for 200 damage a pop usually will be enough to get those kills. It is going to be Queen of Pain, traded for Jakir after all is said and done. It's still a great trade for Stark. Tower pushing from alternate, really not doing a ton right now, even during this darkness phase. Nightstalker going to straight Ags, but right now it doesn't even have upgraded boots yet. And Stark, they're going to get slowly but surely Nemphy into a position where they will just have an Ember Spear on top of the network chart. Trixie also has gotten quite a few last hits in the past couple minutes. Is on top of the network chart. I mean, they're not really super far ahead of the alternate side, but they're sitting at a pretty comfortable lead. At least where they can sit back, get this Battle Fury on the Ember Spirit most likely. Is there an Orchid on the Queen of Pain? It looks like it will be built. So Nemphy, considering perhaps going for a Yasha and Tamanta style, he probably will need it actually up against the Night Stalker. So I'd expect that from Nemphy. But hey, as long as he's on top of the network chart, he can get anything he wants. He's going to join with Trixie once again. Has a full mana pool this time. Is looking this time for a half HP Luna. She's lifestealing a little bit, but here comes the Ember Spirit. Going to jump right in. Damage over time is there. Chains as well. Mikelorus looking for a Nightmare. Not in time. Vacuum back into the Bane. Looks like that was just a vacuum onto the Luna. It came a little bit too late. But Nemphy's damage over time is absolutely insane. Level 4 Ion Shell, 90 damage per second. Level 4 Flame Guard, another 60. It's 150 DPS. In an AoE. Magic damage. Like, seriously, what are you supposed to do about that? You just gotta hope you're not caught there in the first place. But if Nemphy keeps getting these kills, man, Yasha's going to come really quickly. He's going to say, screw the Yasha. I'm going to go ahead and get Battle Fury. You can always get Yasha later, man. He's not under any pressure right now. In fact, the pressure's going towards Elisash up towards top lane. Bane, if I charge you, will you die? It'll be extremely painful. No, teleport's coming in. Nisha's presence is going to protect them for right now. Valix running away from screen. It's not darkness just yet. Valix does have a surge as backup. He's going to get very far away, even running through Supreme. They do lose the curse. Supreme going to charge forward. He has a Sonic Wave. Will that clip? He's not going to chuck it just yet, as Valix is getting a lot of distance away. He's going to charge only towards mid lane, though. Darkness now pop. Valix needs to book it. Oh, he needs to TP out right now. It looks like screen should not get in range, and Sonic Wave. Oh, Supreme held it. And it looks like the Spirit Breaker will finally get out of there. A close call for sure. But that's Darkness pop by the Night Stalker, not doing a ton. Meantime, bottom lane now being pushed. Liquid Fire kicking into gear. Killing out the creep wave super quickly with the Plasma Field. And the tower's not killing off the Radiant creep wave either because of the minus attack speed. It's an easy tower destruction for Stark. It's going to be the third tower of the game for them. Meantime, no trades in sight, at least not yet for alternate. They can still push pretty quickly, especially with Exotic Deer going for a Mask of Madness. This is a very, very fast pushing build for Exotic Deer, but also a super fragile one. We've already seen she's not super tanky. She can't survive easily in these fights, so she has to be very careful about her positioning. Nemphy is going to get hit with the Void. Crippling Fear, not available because it's daytime. It is available, not going to do a ton. Now Boogie's going to start stealing a hell of a lot of damage. Charge through onto Nisha. They're going to Nightmare up this Razor, yet still took out 100 damage. They're going to run on top of the Bane, kill him off, as Trixie's going to charge forward, looking for Supreme and Nisha. I don't think he can get these kills. He's trying to stall them up so that they get the Razor into place. Trixie's spell is yet to use the vacuum right now. He's going to wait till Boogie's a little bit closer. Plasma Field, not going to happen just yet. Now the charge is coming in onto Nisha. This Deer has had her time, I think. Valix is going to put this one down, at least try to. Another strike available. Drop the wall on him as well. Nisha, she gets on the chains afterwards. Yes, Nemphy. Does he have enough right-click damage? He doesn't. They're going to line up for the Sonic Wave. Queen of Pain grabs the Ember Spirit kill. Also dropping Trixie super low. Exotic Deer going to walk right in. There's a creep wave here, so the Eclipse not going to do a ton. Supreme trying to look for Trixie, but he does blink out in the end. Supreme going to blink forward after him. Liquid Fire, minus attack speed. He will not get the kill. 10 HP. Trixie's going to live. Ice Path as well. Trixie, where are you going? You should have ran to the left side. He's still at 10 HP. He's going to run to screen, however. I don't know where the hell that was. Just like, go over here. Go to your base. Your base is like all the way over here. You want to go this direction, Trixie. Not really sure what the hell happened there. But they line up for the Sonic Wave, and it finally lands for Supreme. The Eclipse from Exotic Deer was kind of mediocre. That being said, I mean, the Sonic Wave won them that fight as soon as they killed off that Ember Spirit. It was just all over, and Nisha is still going to live. 403 now going to go for the Item Scepter, and is starting to bulk up with a point booster. Has the Ogre Club in her inventory as well. Plus another 300 gold towards that 1,000 for the Blade of Alacrity. And Nisha, yeah, he's doing some pretty serious damage at this point. And Luna, as long as she's going to be the last one into these fights, should be, you know, doing some pretty serious work as well. Again, if you get on top of Exotic Deer, especially with the Mask of Madness turned on, you blow her up in an instant. She has no chance in hell. But as long as that doesn't happen, Exotic Deer is going to be dishing. Got to smoke up now from Stark. They're thinking that alternate are in the Roche Pit. They'll figure out very quickly if they're not. They're going to look for a fight over towards Nisha. Well, at this point, it's not an easy kill at all. Boogie's going to start stealing the damage. No Bane Nightmare this time. A lot of damage for Razor. No damage for Nisha. Hitting for 20, or 14 or something like that. 15 damage. How does I math? But Enchantress still has the impetus. Impeti? Impetuses? Impetusi? I don't know. Random Mud Golem coming in. Random Shard Golems coming in. Look at these little pricks. So annoying. Yeah, they're going to just push down the bottom lane. Stark, Liquid Fire getting back into action. Sanjanyasha Razor on the front lines should probably be going for an Aghanims next to take down these structures that much quicker. Response from Alternate. Well, they're not in position just yet. They have to pick up the Aghanim Scepter on Night Stalker. And it is still darkness for however long. I'm not sure if this vision is really going to help out, though. It will spot out Trixie. Trixie does not know that the Aghanim Scepter vision is up. So he may not think... He may think that he's safe, but Empty in the meantime is going to jump towards Supreme. Chain's going to land. Charge there as well. Valix, another strike, not there. Right clicks, and also not there. And Empty's going to drop super low. Will survive, but will drop to the beam in the end. Off to the right side, looks like Ice Path. As the fight does break out, they're going to try to go for the Bane. They will kill him off, but Exotic Deer cleaning house on the left side. Now the two are going to collapse on each other. Nisha is going to get a sandwich in. First Stark, Exotic Deer going to unleash a full-on Eclipse. This time there's no other units to absorb it. So much damage towards Boogie and Trixie both. They'll take them both down. Okay, Sia trying to go for this Luna. Will fall short, though. Here comes Nemphy, back from the dead. Chains into two. He's also going to help from the Macro Pyro. Screen's going to roast. Nisha still so tanky. He's never really going to die in this game. Although Nemphy's sure as hell going to try. Chains will cancel a TP, but he's not doing enough damage right now. Has another Sleight of Fist. I don't think that's going to do enough damage. He needs more damage over time right now with the shield. Guard. Now Sleight of Fist will do it. Sleight of Fist. There it is. Nemphy draws double kill. Grabs Dominating Speed. Now Chains on Elisash. He tries to get away. Has no more mana to Spirit Jump out. But that buyback sure as hell worth it for Nemphy. Claiming 2 kills, 3 kills for the team. Ultimately, a 3-for-4 exchange. As the Luna did some serious work, but after that Eclipse has, just timed out, having to deal with another Ember Spirit Life, who did die super quickly. Unfortunately, that silence from Screen shut down Valix's kill power on that Queen of Pain and really helped her get that Sonic Wave out. Still, this game is razor thin, as Luna is starting to step up her damage. Just getting that level 3 Eclipse is going to be pretty devastating. Level 3 Sonic Wave also not too far away, though Nemphy is getting some serious farm going. Even after having bought back, still has enough gold for one of his swords. Sees Supreme. I think he will realize that he can't do enough here. Exotic Deer also not a super easy kill. They needed at least a charge. Valix. Where's the charge, bro? Charging in? No, he's just taking damage from these stupid satyrs. Leave him alone. Leave Valix alone. I mean it. Look at this guy. What's going on here? Like, what is this? It's supposed to be charging people. There was also no vacuum, or there was a wall in that fight. It just was kind of awkward. Like, Nisha rather, wants to draw attention to the Darkseer. The more you spend on this Enchantress, the better off it's going to be for the Luna. They're going to blink in looking for the Ember Spirit, but he sees them coming, jumps away. The game is still in anyone's hands right now. While it's dark, Stark are not going to be looking to make any sort of super aggressive plays. Now Screen has that gemmed up vision. There's not a ton of vision up on the Stark side, but what observers they have should very quickly be destroyed. It seems like Stark are going to look for a smoke up. However, if they do this here, it's going to be spotted by an observer. In fact, everyone's movements are already spotted. Even if they don't smoke up, I'm pretty sure Alternate are going to smell something coming. And with Screen in the area, he will know exactly what's going on at all times. Oh, he's going to leave the sentry up for now. He's going to get the initiation onto Nemphy. Crippling Fear is there, but he gets the guard up first. Ice Path is going to bail out an empty. It should be just fine. Looking for chains into the screen with the Nether Strike there. Well, Nightmare's going to save screen for a little while longer. Vacuum back onto 3, however. Elosash going to get pulled into the fray, and he doesn't want to be here. Brain Sap going to help him out, but not enough. He'll die. They also take down screen, so they grab the gem. Chains now onto Exotic Deer, who's going to try to TP out. Ice Path gonna clip him just in time. Exotic Deer has a BKB, but decided not to use it. And he's going to die. That's a 3 kill for Stark, and it's also daytime. Who's going to grab the gem? The Courier is going to grab the gem. No, guys, you got to get that one. Run, Courier, run. And Stempy wants it so badly, but he can't do it. I don't know why no one grabbed it. They pinged it out. They have expendable items they can just chuck away, especially the Spirit Breaker. He has slots. 21-16, and Roshan now is going to be brought down very easily at that. Between the Maim and the Liquid Fire, Roshan's not doing jack for damage. And yeah, the dire side may know about this, but they can't really do anything about this. They can jump in Sonic Wave, but Supreme has his hands on the top lane. He's going to just push down the top tier 1. At least they get something for it. Tier 1 tower for Roshan on the top lane. Pretty standard stuff there. Vacuuming back just in case anyone is up here. Doesn't really cost them that much. They grab the Aegis, and Nemphy is going to grab his Battle Fury shortly. He's actually going to jump forward, looking for Supreme. Charge is going to connect. They also had an extra bash, as if that was even necessary. They had the Nether Strike, so they would have had the kill there anyway. Once the charge lands, the kill will follow. And they also get this tower denied away from the alternate side. Starker now starting to recover back into this game, although still it is anyone's game. Still razor thin. The fact that Nemphy is getting farm and surviving is huge. Also, Boogie is surviving and doing some serious work as well. And Luna at this point still very soft with her build. Screen, he does have the gem back on his person, the Aghanim Scepter there. But even though you may see everyone, you may be charged at the same time. And the Night Stalker, as fast as he is, can't outrun Spirit Breaker. Really not sure he's going to be winning this game, guys. Nisha has grabbed the Aghanim Scepter. At this point, Enchantress, though she does do a lot of damage, isn't really going to be doing like enough damage to force Stark to kill her off, else they all die. I mean, Yell will be taking some serious hits, but at this point they have Guardian Greaves. They have just, tanky heroes, Aegis even on the Ember Spirit. They can afford to let the Enchantress live for a little while longer. It's once she gets like a Moon Shard or an Assault Cuirass or some form of attack speed, that's when she becomes really relevant, because she's going to be chucking these spears super quickly. But for right now, I mean, yeah, it hurts. For sure, it hurts. But it's something that you can manage just by ignoring and then killing her off last, as they did in the last fight over here. Well, Stalker still is going to be stalking everyone. He's absolutely everything right now with this Gem Ag's vision. However, the rest of the team not really in position to do anything with this. He still has a lot of Invis Rune left. And getting a perfect read on everyone with the help of Observer Ward, never a bad thing. Ideally for right now, for the Dire side, the Radiant team decide to smoke up. They will be completely spotted if they do so. But yeah, these moves are not secrets. Trixie might get held up by Screen in the back lines. We have pings out. They don't know that Screen is here. They're just going to go for a straight push. No, they're going to turn around. They know that he's there now. Charge? Well, they saw him, but they couldn't quite charge him, I think. Yeah, Screen's playing a very dangerous game right now. But as long as he survives, not a big deal. Darkness still very young right now. Vision on Night Stalker is so important in this game. And Stark can straight push once they get like a BKB and Aghanims on the Razor. But he just has Magic Community, which is a good start, of course, but it's not going to be like him completely safe against those in those tower pushes. Screen's doing some serious work here for alternate. I don't really know what they're farming towards, however. Like, this Luna needs to go for, I guess, like a Butterfly or a Manta Style or something along those lines. Has died a couple times since then. Now Screen now is going to walk over Ward. Will be charged. Here comes Boogie. Nether Strike is there. They're going to put the Spirit Breaker to sleep, but a nice Vacuum Wall onto 2. Going to make a whole bunch of illusions to absorb the Eclipse. And now Exotic Deer, he has the Mask of Madness pops, so he's going to take a hell of a lot of damage from these spells. Nemphy looking for a Searing Chains combo will miss, but Valix will not. Here comes the cow right into Exotic Deer. He's already lost a lot of damage to the Razor. Minus armor from the Eye of the Storm. They're going to get the kill on the BKB Luna. And now they're on to Nisha. At least they see the Deer. They have another charge in 2 seconds. They have Sleight of Fist, no Searing Chains. Man, it looks like they won't be able to get anything else. But it's a 3 kill for Stark yet again. And the Darkseer leaves. Trixie should probably come back soon, so we're gonna take a pause. 25-16, an alternate just getting caught off guard. Again, it was a very useful game being played by Screen. Very, very dangerous. You're spotted once, you're charged, and you're dead. There's really no two ways about it. And everyone else kind of getting roped into it as well. This tower, at the very least, is going to fall in favor of the Stark side. The real problem is the fact that Ember Spirit now has his ultimate orb up. Is he going for Manta Style or is he going for Lincoln Sphere, I wonder? Lincoln Sphere provides some serious value. Although he might just want to go for Manta Style just so he can get rid of that crippling fear. Get away later. Either way, I mean, it's a big item. Oh, and up towards top Supreme. You're doing this up against the Spirit Breaker, bro. Not a good plan, because here comes Valix. He doesn't have another strike just yet. He's going to get a lucky Bash Hour. Trixie's also in the area. Vacuum with available. And Supreme, he has a blink. He's going to get off to the left side. They kind of know where he is. But do they actually know where he is? Vacuum back. Macropyre going to destroy a whole lot of trees. Supreme is way too far now to get killed off. Although I say that. Plasma Field for Vision. Sleight of Fist. Oh, going to miss just barely. Supreme is going to be fine. No big deal. If they have the Nether Strike, they get the kill, but it was just 5 seconds off from cooldown. Doesn't matter. It's still got tower, and still will probably get another tower following. Liquid Fire is going to make this very safe for the Stark side, and there's no response here from Alternate. This is their, I mean, they have one more outer tier 2 tower left. Things can be worse right now, but not really that much worse. They're very quickly losing grasp over this game. It's still possible for them to bring it back. They just need to make sure that the Eclipse lands while there's no wall there. There's wall from the Darkseer. I mean, it makes those illusions, and yeah, that's nice, but if you actually kill off the illusions, and Eclipse does that really quickly, and heroes are still in the wall, then the wall makes more illusions. So you actually want those illusions to survive, so you only get hit with the wall, only once. That being said, the Luna also needs the Eclipse to land on enemy heroes. They're going to catch Valix, who's going to charge right through Exotic Deer. These spears are going to hurt so much. Beam is there as well. They need more damage here. Here comes Screen. I don't know where Valix was charging to. It's not a good plan. Ice Path, though, going to bail him out. Nemphy also here. He'll survive 30 HP. Screen. No, they're going to actually ship the gem towards Nemphy. No, he drops on the floor. Screen grabs it. Nemphy fumbled the gem. Not really sure what happened there. Yeah, I feel like they just tried to save the gem and they didn't try to save the Spirit Breaker. He might have been able to escape there. Not super likely, but there's always a chance. Alternate get their gem back. Gonna slap that on the Night Stalker, get that full vision once again. But still, he lost it last time because he was charged pure and simple. Once Spirit Breaker's back up, that once again is gonna become a threat. Screen's gonna see a couple heroes. He's gonna intercept Trixie right now. Void, Crippling Fear, Shadow Strike slow. Trixie though still Surge, and now Screen's vision's gonna run out because it's daytime. Yeah, this Night Stalker suddenly not as useful. But this Luna needs to get some big items up. Has gone for drums? Am I seeing this correct? She did just get drums. Yeah, drums 33 minutes in on any hero, not really what you want to be doing, let alone a Luna. Like, if it's a butterfly, sure, man, I'm all on board for a butterfly. A Manta Style, even. Get rid of those Searing Chains, get rid of that Liquid Fire effect. But drums, yeah, I'm not really sure if this is going to do it. Now, Aghanim Scepter I can get behind on Supreme. Again, it's not really a super fast one, but just being able to push out those waves, prevent the split push from Stark, it has value in and of itself. Oh man, look at this little bastard. Satyr Banisher got in there with the Purge. Does nothing really, but it's annoying. And Stark, they're still getting some pretty big items up. Net worth being led by the Ember Spirit. Exactly what Stark wants. And he has enough gold to grab the Yasha if he wants to go for that one. It's also not out of the question to see him just go for the straight Eye of Scotty. It's not a terrible item on Ember Spirit by any means. Helps him man fight a little bit more if necessary. V. Oh, he's gonna jump away. That was a little bit close. Can't afford to lose your Ember Spirit right now. Bad times for sure if that's gonna happen. However, putting the Ember Spirit on the aggressive, now it's good time. Supreme's gonna get vacuum back. Has a TP scroll. He's gonna have to use it like right now because here comes Valix. Screen is gonna come in time. Valix is gonna get the Lotus Orb applied to him. Screen slowed down by his own Void, though it does seem like Supreme's gonna slip away. Radiant grab a tower in the meantime. From the bottom lane, all tier 2 towers now down. And both teams should be positioning themselves for Roshan. I don't know when it's going to come up. But when it does, both teams going to make a beeline for it. Boogie going to get jumped over in mid. Silenced up. BKB now Pop going to start dealing damage from Screen. Spearbreaker is coming in. And will probably charge through Nisha. Actually, probably not. They still want this Night Stalker. He has the gem. However, the Nightmare is going to save Screen for a while longer. Elisasha going to get beaten down by Boogie. Look at the damage from this Razor. Stole 200, or has 200 damage plus in each Whiplash. And now they're going to dump forward with the vacuum back on the Screen. They land the chains on him as well. Ice Path not quite getting connected to the Luna. Double kill for Boogie regardless. looking for someone else. Searing Chain, Sleight of Fist, gonna catch Nisha. Not an easy kill. Enchantress, one of the most difficult kills they could find. 27-17, and Alternate just keep losing these heroes. And now Yule Scepter onto the Enchantress, falls into an Ice Patch. Trixie's there with the Ion Shell. He'll show Force Staff out. Not a big deal for the Enchantress, okay with taking those hits. Force Staff and just naturally being tanky with the Untouchable. It's very difficult to dislodge. Unless there's BKBs picked up on Stark. Now, Razor has his, so he could very easily demolish the Enchantress should he find a correct opening with enough damage stolen. Stark are going to play this game very patiently. Mantis Owl completed now in the Ember Spirit, so we can get rid of those slows, that crippling fear. That's about it, actually. I guess you have Enchant Slow, Shadow Strike. You get rid of the Void and crippling fear effect. The Night Stalker though did survive because of that Bane's Nightmare, and he does have still that Aghanim Broken Vision. It's now again regular nighttime, and they're gonna start dewarding. But Stark, they should know that Roshan is gonna be the objective that Alternate wants, so they're gonna stick around here. Valek's gonna charge right in towards screen right now. Nightmare not gonna come in on time. Valek doesn't have a BKB. Well, Eclipse not gonna pop just yet. Like Doctor thinking about it. This is not really where they want to fight up against a Darkseer and a Jakiro. So Alternate should just leave. Ember Spirit can chuck a Remnant out. Trixie's gonna blink forward, looking for a vacuum back. Gonna catch it onto 2. No fall just yet. Ice Path though, gonna cap onto those same 2. Wall now deployed, and Screen's gonna fall first. Mechanism's gonna nullify that Sonic Wave, and they also get on top of the Luna. Bring her down with no Eclipse being cast at all. Oh man, that is the disastrous event for the Alternate side. They take the gem back into their own hands. It's trading hands so often, but now they're gonna go right into the Roche Pit. Again, you don't want to fight in these close quarters area against a Darkseer, against a Razor, and a Jakiro. As powerful as Luna's, Eclipses, and Sonic Wave is, the wall trumps the Eclipse. And Sonic Wave, well, you could shrug that one off with the Mechanism as you just saw. Roshan is gonna die kind of slowly, actually. He will fall eventually in the end. With Liquid Fire, he's not doing any damage here. Aegis probably for Nemphy. Ooh, they're gonna get a charge out into Nisha. I don't think that's going to be completed by Valek. It won't. But now is about the time where Stark can look towards high ground. Aghanim Scepter timing on the Razor, not there. In fact, he's going to go for an Assault Cuirass instead. I think it's fine. I mean, getting the armor is definitely better than having the Aghanim Scepter in the fights. And it does help you push. Just minus armor, get the attack speed going. I like this item pick, as long as he buys out for it. And he has a lot of gold right now. Plate mail, recipe, you know, it is pretty expensive, this Assault Cuirass. 5250, but he will have that one very soon. In fact, he actually has it right now. There you go. Chainmail up, or plate mail up rather, and you got it. So Assault Cuirass now up, Aegis now up. Again, they're not really in any huge rush, Stark, so they could play this a little bit slower. Nemphy is going to be spotted on his teleport out screen, unfortunately, a little bit too late to void him up. But even then, you have to void him, you have to grip him. I don't know if we've even seen any grips this game, actually. Elisasha's been dying every single time. Sucks to be him, I suppose. Ember Spirit teleported up towards the top lane. Razor's still farming. Is not with travels, so he should probably join his allies right about now. He has the Assault Cuirass. I guess he wants buyback, but he won't be able to afford it. It's gonna stack up once, and then, guys, you gotta push with your Razor. You gotta push with your Razor. He's still farming it up, man. Boogie just wants this cash. I mean, buyback is nice. I guess if you have buyback, you can die, buy back, and return to the fight. Siege Creep can get chained down, beaten down as well. Screen sees all of this. Nemphy, he has the Aegis, so committing a grip to him, not what they want to be doing right now. 300 gold for buyback. I'm pretty sure if the Razor just, like, pushes in with mid, with everyone else, he should be able to grab buyback gold, or he's going to be able to find Luna. Oh, uh-oh, Luna. Uh-oh, a single spot of vision means charge. But the charge is actually going instead towards screen. Sees it coming. Valek will cancel. Stark still not going for the high ground push. Where do they actually want to go? I mean, Trix is pressuring the top lane right now, but Supreme with the Aghanim Scepter Sonic Wave will be able to nullify the Creep Wave entirely just in an instant. So where are Stark actually going to push? All these towers are similarly healthy. I mean, I guess top lane's slightly weaker. Slightly weaker. But the more they wander around, the higher chances of this happening. Elisasha running to Valek. Another strike is there. No grip, no nightmare. He needs a couple bashes if he can get this kill, but now the grip's going to happen. Screen's going to come in. Not enough damage just yet. Here comes Nisha. He has the damage output. Valek's going to pop the BKB. Still taking a hell of a lot of damage from it. Will survive for a little while longer. Gets Lotus Orb applied, and now the Searing Chains is there. Well, they're going to take down the Spirit Break with Sonic Wave. Screen's going to try to TP out. He will not succeed. Eclipse in the back line's not going to do a ton, it seems. Although the Jakiro does get picked off by Supreme. Nemphy's going to charge forward with help of Trixie. Try to catch up to this Queen of Pain. They lose their Courier, the Radiant. Now they're on to Supreme. But Supreme's just going to teleport out of this. No problem whatsoever. Stark, that's what happens when you don't just actually just go ahead and push. Like, you have everyone up. They're going to look for Nisha now, but they have no charge in, so they can't initiate onto this Enchantress. Those kills, that 2-for-1, may have just saved Alternate their base. Because the Aegis is going to be reclaimed really soon. And for Stark, they haven't done jack shit with it. They're going to look for Exotic Deer. The chains will miss, and even if it does land, she has BKB, so she can fight it out. Not really sure what that was about for Stark. Like, I guess it's nighttime, so you don't want to push during night, which is justifiable, I suppose. But you have the Aegis, and it's going to time out in just a minute. Again, the Razor didn't seem to be on board with everyone else. If the Razor was just there, he just grabbed an Assault Cuirass. He could have just busted up the high ground, at least tried to apply a little pressure towards those towers. And instead, Stark are going to end up burning this Aegis, not to do too much with it. I mean, they're going to replace it with the Chrysalis. It's not bad at all for an Emphy. Trixie's going to go for an Aghanim Scepter. Razor will have buyback and then some. Jakiro, 4-staff, you'll see some pretty standard stuff there. I guess they look for a pickoff. Oh, Supreme, chain down, needs to blink out right now. He's going to the left side, but he's still being charged up. Thunk, and dead. They also see the Ogre Frost Mage. They don't see Nisha, however. Oh, do they see Nisha? Did they really see him? No, they didn't. They're just thinking he was there. They'll kill off the Ogre. Queen of Pain down for 70 with no buyback. She just bought out for the Assault Cuirass. How much did that help you, Queen of Pain? Not much. And the Aegis isn't up for that much longer in Emphy. That's why he's going to try to taunt out plays from the enemy side so that he can use that Aegis Nisha. He's going to take a little bit of damage right now. Does get mech'd up. Will be just fine. Screen now pops the Darkness. Has full vision again, but Emphy, he's going to go quite suicidal. Tries to use this Aegis. Or at least use his Mana Pool. Acropyre onto screen. Vacuum back. Not there yet because Trixie is still sleeping. So much harassment damage is being spammed out towards Exotic Deer. Nemphy has Travels and Remnants, so we could always teleport back to base if needed. Baelix coming in. They're actually going to catch chains onto Elisasha right now. Ice Path to follow up. Bane's going to die without anything else. Boogie taking a lot of damage from this Enchantress, but she's just going to charge the Deer. Vacuum back onto 2. Will kill off the Night Stalker. Now Nisha. Hit with the Plasma Field. Hit with the chains. 4-staffed out. Ice Path will miss, and Nisha may just live. They need one more hit. Oh yeah, Nemphy with the Sleight of Fist is going to get it. Darkseer grabs the Aghanim Scepter from the enemy's base. And now, while the Aegis has been lost by Nemphy, they're going to crack the high ground regardless. Luna and Enchantress, the only heroes alive right now. Luna does have the Eclipse still, does have the BKB. But the charge in from Spirit Breaker, they have to be very careful. You'll Scepter right now on the Enchantress. They do catch Exotic Deer. Wall is dropped, however, the Eclipse being absorbed by all these illusions here, but with the Manta Style, with the wall, Exotic Deer is not doing enough right now. He's going to now fight 1v4. Although here comes the help. It's a Sonic Wave cutting through. Nemphy will jump away. Baelix going to charge right in. Shoves the Luna and will get the kill. Ice Path on the Scream helping Baelix to escape. One more Spirit going to land. In fact, it's the Scream of Pain to do it. Everyone from Stark dies. I thought the Ember Spirit was going to live. What the hell killed him off? Was there a Spear following him? It seems like there was. They take the tier 3, but they don't take Rax's. And Stark, they get absolutely demolished. It's a 5,000 gold swing, 11,000 experience, mostly towards this Enchantress. Now, she was forced to buy back there, so it wasn't a free defense there from the alternate side, but it is going to extend this game. Hold on 1 second, guys. Alright. We're back. Big Sonic Wave there from Supreme. And for Stark, if they made that play a little bit earlier, I can't help but feel that with the Aegis, Double Life, and the Ember Spirit, they could have made something happen. Or at least, you know, mitigated their losses or gained, like, range racks or something like that. Instead, they get completely wiped, and they're probably going to lose a tier 2 afterwards. Nisha is so tanky and doing so much damage at this point. Once the Daedalus comes up at Ember Spirit, it's going to be a lot easier to kill off this Deer, but until then, she's just going to sit there and tank everything in the world.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And looks like they're going to slide down to the bottom lane, grab this tower as well. Man, this is still looking pretty decent for Stark, because they have a decisive lead at this point. But after that last fight, it's getting a small hiccup of an engagement. Charge not used just yet from Baelix, although he's going to land the charge now. It's too far away. 2 towers to fall. Going to make it a little bit better for alternate. Still not all over for Stark. They still have a lot of gold in this Razor. 3,700. Should be going for Aghanims. For Stark at this point, they could try to stall up the game for like one more item in the Ember Spirit. Replace the Ring of Aquila with something. But for Boogie, like, all he wants to do right now is just sit in the front lines, use the Eye of the Storm to take down those towers, and also not die right now, which may happen. Ooh, they're actually going to instead go for Valix and OKC, although now it seems like, oh, they're going to run to Boogie. They shoot him up immediately. Sonic Wave committed. Ice Path onto 5 right now. Macropyre is there as well. Where's the wall? There it is. And they're not leaving from it. Macropyre is still burning them down. Now the Deer's doing a lot of damage right now, but the Ember Spirit's doing a little bit more. Exotic Deer, he's going to pop the Eclipse. It's not going to do enough. Nisha is still firing off those spears. We'll get the kill into Valix in the end, but now has to run away, as does Screen. Jump forward from Nemphy. Has one more Spirit left. Sleight of Fist, Searing Chain. Screen will fall here, as they're now chasing forward for Nisha. Trixie's right on his tail, and the Enchantress is trying to juke. It's not going to happen. Force Staff won't work. Queen of Pain's the only survivor here, as everyone else gets demolished. Jakiro, the support Jakiro, doing some serious work. A 5-man Ice Path, a 4-man Macropyre. Trixie following up with the wall absolutely perfectly. Gets them a 4-for-2 exchange. There's a lot of experience, a lot of gold being put towards Stark, but more importantly, it's the ability to go in for Raxes. Buyback from the Night Stalker, not really going to scare Stark off, at least not yet. Buyback on the Luna might, especially with the natural revival of the Bane. Screen going to charge right in, doesn't have that True Sight gem any longer, has to watch out for the Ice Path. But it seems like Stark not going to go into a 3v4 as they shouldn't. We'll just fall back. Still a big fight for Stark. They forced out 2 buybacks. Luna just bought the Butterfly, so if they kill her off again, as difficult as that may be, they will be able to at least take Raxes. Alternatively, Roshan, with kind of small respawn timer, is going to be up right now, and both sides are going to be looking for that. Enchantress, though, has yet to buy back. And for Stark, they know that Roshan is a possibility now. At least I hope they do. They can check it out and then claim it without a hitch. Like, there's still 37 seconds for them to kill off Roshan. As powerful as Luna is in the pit and Queen of Pain, they just kill off way too quickly. They can alternatively just go for a game-winning push, or like a Rax-taking push. Not game-winning necessarily just yet. Alex is going to charge right in. Chains now into Exotic Deer, trying to force out that BKB, or trying to force them away. Sonic Wave, well, looking for an angle as the Queen of Pain. They're going to take down their range Raxes first. Now to the melee they're going to go. Nemphy's going to dice through these super quickly. Elisash and Supreme both caught with the chains. Ice Path onto the same 2. Supreme and Elisash need to survive this one, but they're going to get both bashed up. Screen also getting caught in the crossfire. Is going to fall. Buyback instantly from the Queen of Pain. Now the Enchantress is back. Stark, though, they take what they came for. They take Raxes. Now will fall back. Go straight into the Roche Pit and claim their objective there. What is this? A Daedalus completed on the Ember Spirit. He's already doing a sizable chunk of damage. And Roshan is not going to last for a long time right now. Liquid Fire going to make this very safe. And Nemphy's damage going to make it very fast. Boogie, he just bought a Demon Edge, so it looks like he's going to go for an MKB to try to deal with this Luna's evasion. Oh, this is going to be a dangerous game for Alternate. I don't really know what they can do to come back from this one. Being a Rax down 50 minutes from the game, not a big deal, really. But it's down the line when things are going to get much more difficult. Like, the split push is even possible here from Stark to a decent degree. Ember Spirit does that really well. Maybe not that great versus Night Stalker, but Valix is always charging around. This Spear Breaker has been giving them Stark so much tempo in these fights, so many pickoffs. And now the Refresher Orb is on the Darkseer, or Refresher Ag's Lotus. I'm not really sure if this is necessarily better than having a Sheep Stick on Darkseer, but you know what? Landing a double wall, we've already seen the effectiveness of one wall, being able to put up those illusions, absorb the Eclipse beams, at the very least, not to mention the damage that it does. You get 2 of them. You get 2 vacuums back as well, so you ensure that the enemies are sticking in that pit, in that wall rather. You get a lot of easy kills there. And of course, the longer they're vacuumed in, the more damage Nemphy is going to be doing with his Battle Fury, so you get synergy with the Ember Spirit. Jakiro's Macropyre maybe can do more damage. Macropyre at this stage is level 3. And the only downside of Macropyre is the fact that, though it does do a lot of damage, it's very difficult to keep the enemies in there. The longer you keep them in, it's 180 damage per second. That is very respectable. Keep them in there for like 3 seconds. Yeah, that's a hell of a lot of damage on everybody. Looks like it's up towards top lane, which Stark want to make their game-ending push. Aegis in tow. Still no Aghanims on this Razor, but you know, go for Assault Cuirass, go for MKB. Razor's going to go for a little more of a trademarked late-game carry build, it seems. And it's very difficult to bring down, even without the Aegis. They're going to immediately start on these towers, not fortified just yet. The rest of Alternate, they're all the way over in the mid lane. I don't really know why. Guys, your base is kind of dying. They got to go right now. Nemphy is going to claim the melee Rax. He's going to with the Crippling Fear, has the Mantis Style still up. He's going to get Lotus Orb out of the Sheep Stick, and he's going to be just fine. Now he's going to dive forward, looking for Nisha. Ice Path is going to miss. Sonic Wave will also miss, however. Vacuum back onto 3. Secondary Vacuum, where is it? Not used just yet. Now it's going to be refreshed. Secondary Wall, double Luna Illusions, and their blades are going to be bouncing everywhere. Onto the dire side, Supreme is going to blink out, but Nisha's caught in the Ice Path right now, completely surrounded in Illusions and Heroes. He's going to try to go for the hero, will fall short there, and they'll slay the Enchantress. It's going to be a long, drawn-out game. But after all said and done, Stark end the game in glorious fashion with a Refresher Orb Darkseer and do tie up the series 1-1. Whew. Not a good time to run out of water, guys, let me tell you. But either way, this is going to be the end of this match. Stark going up against Alternate. Maybe many people expected Stark to take it 2-0, but Alternate steamrolling game 1. Ultimately, it's just a tie. That's fine for Stark. They're pretty well positioned in this group. Alternate need more points. They really do need a little bit better. But for right now, guys, I am going to call it quits. I'm Mikelorus. I've been your only caster for today. Next game coming up in about 10 minutes is going to be Ninjas in Pajamas versus Monkey Freedom Fighters. Grandis is going to be taking the stream for that one, so the stream will be going down for a little bit while we get that set up. But rest assured, the stream will come back. If you enjoyed the cast, guys, be sure to stick around because the next game should be just as good, if not better. Also, follow me on Twitter at Mikelorus. It's in the title. It's in this upper right-hand corner of the screen right now. And I'll see you guys next time. GG.